and welcome. I'm Harriet Agbinyi. Tonight, after flashes of violence in some areas, the Independent National Electoral Commission suspends elections in 6 local government areas of Rivers State. Rivers State government decries role of the military in the conduct of the polls. Students and parents express frustrations over the conduct of the Unified Tertiary Matriculation Examinations. And a suicide bomb attack at a busy shopping area in the Turkish city of Istanbul leaves 4 people dead, while a passenger jet crashes in the southern Russian city of Rostov, killing all 55 passengers and 7 crew on board.
And on Business News tonight, the Central Bank's Monetary Policy Committee is set to hold its second rate decision meeting for the year.
And in sports news, Enyimba secures passage to the next round of the CAF Champions League, while Warri Wolves and Nasarawa United crash out in the continent.
We'll begin tonight from Rivers State in South Nigeria, where the rerun elections into state and National Assembly seats have been inconclusive following the suspension of elections in 6 local government areas of the state. INEC's resident electoral commissioner in the state, Mr. Anyedi Ikoyokwa, who announced the suspension, told newsmen that the decision was taken following reported cases of violence and other hitches in some parts of the state. The affected local government areas are Andoni, Kana, Boni, Kokana, Eleme and Tai.
The Commission is watching development in other local government areas and will brief the press accordingly. We are studying the situations, and in situations where we were prevented, we cannot really say we needed to force ourselves or break people to get there. In situations where maybe for one thing or the other we are also going to study them. But we had already asked the youths who may have arrived at polling units late to allow every person who had turned up for the elections to continue until every person at the polling unit had voted. We were prevented from operating from the racks. We were even prevented from deployments. There were accusations of not believing in the materials we brought, and so on and so forth. So there were issues of violence, there were issues of insecurity of life. After all, we tried to let the people know, and at the end of the day, we were still prevented as at 12 to 1 o'clock from moving out. We didn't see it was necessary for us to continue to press to go to the field. And even some of our people who were able to beat it up and went to the field, they were returned with sporadic shootings and so on. So it was better for the life of the personnel to be preserved.
Meanwhile, violence was reported in Alode Eleme local government area of Rivers State. According to our political correspondent, Sheon Okimbaloye, who monitored the situation in that area, a 14-seater bus was torched. Some residents blamed the action on political thugs, while others said the violence was caused by some cultists from a neighboring community.
It was a sluggish start to the exercise in most parts of the state. 8 a.m. is the scheduled start time, but over 2 hours after that mark, materials, ad hoc and security officials are yet to advance to their different polling centers. Voters wait anxiously to see when the exercise will commence. Deserted streets as we move around the state. The situation is similar in most parts. In Ohale area of Eleme local government area, at past 11 a.m., materials was just distributed and a move to set up at the polling centers. Angry and anxious voters get rowdy and rather unruly. In other parts of LML local government area, precisely in Alessa, voters are better organized here. They have quietly get themselves on the queue, and the ad hoc officials are set to commence the exercise. Just about 3 minutes drive away from here, sporadic gunshots are heard. Violence has been unleashed. The military are on hand to find out what exactly is happening. Residents in the groups watch from afar, perhaps some of them still in shock over the events which led to the burning of the bus. There is an obvious confusion amongst the residents as to what really happened. This man painted a scenario different from what some of the other residents told us off camera.
This very bus that people are seeing was conveyed with Alessa boys and court boys. Immediately they came out from this bus, they started shooting on everybody. Everybody disappeared. So when a lot of people intervened, all of them ran away. That is why this bus caught fire. And this bus was caught fire because of how they were dragging out to go out of the vehicle. That is why this bus caught fire.
Those whom they say were responsible we could see approach from a distance. It is no doubt a tense atmosphere in some areas, while other areas are relatively peaceful and calm. Shewa Kimaloye reporting for Channels Television News.
Well, still on the Rivers rerun elections, while some areas were relatively calm, there was tension in some other locations. Our correspondent Emmanuel Erei visited some of these flashpoints and now reports.
It's been a mixed bag of events today as we monitored proceedings in some areas in the rerun elections in Rivers State. Our monitoring sessions took us to some riverine areas that had earlier been pinned down as flashpoints. At Abalama community in Asari Toro local government area in Rivers West Senatorial District, we arrived to find some would-be voters, party supporters, agitated over what they described as the delay by INEC officials to start the voting process. We proceeded to Buguma, where you had Darak, and met party officials and those ad hoc staff that had been designated to move the materials to units where voting was to be conducted. And our journey took us to Obima, where we had another mixed bag of events. It was the voting process that appeared to have been concluded, but had elicited reactions from two different parties.
There's no problem. Excuse me. This is what 8 unit 11. Everything is very free and fair.
And this time it was a bit of a bloody session at Ward 8, Unit 4 in Obiakpo local government area.
Obviously, I voted. I won't lie you. I voted. I want to go out. Before this incident happened, after voting, he said that he's not going outside, that everybody should clear on the road. I said it's not like this, I want to cause problem. That he should go out, he should go out. Nothing, he started blowing me. He now went outside, stabbed me. He bought the bottle and stabbed me.
A proper statement of events will be issued by the appropriate authorities. Emmanuel Erei, Channels Television News.
Meanwhile, the Rivers State government has expressed shock at what it calls the role played by the military in the reported diversion of all voting materials meant for Isaka community in Okrika local government area of the state. In a statement by the State Commissioner for Information, Dr. Austin Tam George, the government says no election materials were received at all in Elibrada and Odoha communities as voters waited in vain for INEC officials. The statement added that there were also reports of fake result sheets in circulation at Rumogba, Okporo and Woji. Well, for more on the rerun elections in Rivers State today, taking now to Port Harcourt, the state capital, where our political correspondent, Seun Okinbalo, joins us with the latest developments on the elections. Over to you, Seun.
Thank you, Harriet, and welcome to Rivers State, the capital of Port Harcourt, the capital of Rivers State, to our makeshift election studio here for some of the updates that we're getting right now. We are following the situation of the election here in Rivers State. So many challenges INEC has faced in the exercise today. So many issues coming up about the exercise. 3 senatorial district elections, 12 federal constituencies, and 22 House of Assembly seats contested for today. But some of the information that we're getting right now, just as you know, 6 local government areas were cancelled today, including Gokana local government area, Boni local government area, Kana local government area, LMA, and a few others are cancelled. But some of the information, let's break it down for you so that you get a sense of what is happening out of the 3 senatorial districts in Rivers State. There are no suspended exercise in Rivers East, which has 8 local government areas. But in Rivers Southeast, out of the 7 local government areas, 5 of those local government areas are suspended, including Adoni, Eleme, Gokana, Tai, and Kana. But in Rivers West, which has 8 local government areas, is only Boni local government area that has the exercise suspended there. And that's the kind of stalemate, the issues and the challenges INEC talked about earlier in the bulletin brought to the table. But again, what is happening right now that we're tracking here on Channels Television is that collation is ongoing in some areas. We can tell you right now that in 3 local government areas we are following, Akukutoru, Oyigbo, and Ogobolo local government areas. These 3 local government areas, collation going on right now. But some of the other collation, from the information that we are getting, will continue tomorrow. In some of the local government areas, in other constituencies where the exercise is not suspended, they will have the collation continue tomorrow, Sunday. But again, let's tell you from the reliable information that we are getting, a lot of questions that you may want to be asking right now. If this exercise is suspended in the 6 local government areas, when will INEC conduct these suspended elections? Inconclusive, if we may call it for now, but there is a big one, isn't it? It may not happen anytime soon, not tomorrow, not next tomorrow, from the information that we are getting. But again, we are also being informed that it may not even happen next week because of the Easter break. So, which leads us to maybe 2 weeks' time. That is the kind of information that we are getting, that some of these postponed or the suspended exercise may be reconducted. And so a lot of issues now is brought to the table. The issue of the fact that a lot of these suspended exercise hangs on the budget of INEC, because they have to now look inwards the monies that will be spent on the conducting of this exercise later on. I'm now being joined by my colleague, Emmanuel Ere, who was also in town trying to get information as much as we could. In the last hour or so, he was also in one of those collation centers, and to give us updates on what happened. Where exactly did you visit? A few minutes ago, you just got into back in here where we're tracking the exercise. What happened there?
Well, Shil, just like you said, the election may have thrown up a lot of questions. The cancelled local government areas, 6 of them, 5 of those local government areas are in the River Southeast, which had always been a place where people expected some form of trouble going by the 8 speeches. Yes, flashpoints, yes. So I haven't been to some riverine communities where people also expected some issues to have come up, especially in Rivers West. We decided to follow the process to the collation center in Rivers West. And when we got there, we were not allowed to get in. And even when I introduced myself as a journalist on Channels Television, I was not given any message. It suggests that there's a lot of security right now and a lot of questions. Well, maybe we could say the dust a bit is still in the air a bit, so we can't make conclusions yet. So we need to wait. We have to wait for...
All right. Before now, we're supposed to have the INEC rec here, Mr. Aniedi, to talk to us about the update. It looks like a lot of INEC officials, some of them are overwhelmed with the situation. But where you visited, who are those that are there? Only security operatives, or who are those that you saw there? Because no activities, little or no activities there, like you earlier told me.
Yes, I caught a glimpse of the INEC boss, the INEC chairman, and just like you said, it appeared the INEC, yes, I beg your pardon. Now the INEC rec, and just like you said, it looked like he had been overwhelmed, and a number of the INEC officials. Well, this is an election that had a lot of build-up to it, and people expected the tension that has greeted this particular election to have existed. There are many reports everywhere. We can only share those that we can confirm now. That's why we say that the dust is still in the air, and we expect it to settle. Right. But we must say the body that has the authority to make conclusions, authoritative statements on this election is INEC, and we are waiting.
All right, thank you so much. Just before we go, let's leave you with this piece of information. In the areas where the exercise is concluded, we've been told that we may be having substantial information as to the results coming out of the exercise. And so those places where there are challenges, we may not have the exercise, the results coming in from that area. For now, we're tracking here. We are on the ground. The team is on the ground to get to squeeze out all the information that we'll need and that you need right here under the Rivers rerun election. From all of us here, the team here, it's back to you, Aret, in the studio in Lagos.
Well, thank you so much, Sheung. Of course, Sheung Okimbaloye and Emmanuel Irei, a part of Channels Television's crew who are in Rivers State. They're giving us an update on the rerun elections. Of course, we're also monitoring the situation as well. In part two, after the break, donor agencies ask state governments to subsidize the cost of malaria drugs as part of efforts to reduce the burden of treatment. Stay with us.